Welcome back to the Moonchild Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah KB, and today we're going to be talking about relationships using astrology, the fundamentals. Okay, so this is not going to be everything there is to know about relationships using astrology. This is just the basics, all right? Now, when it comes to astrology, people usually think about the sun sign, even if they don't know what the term sun sign is. Your sun sign is the sign that you know that you are, right? Without reading a chart. This is typically, told to you when you were a child. You know the day and month you were born, so therefore you know your sun sign. You know if you're born on July 12th, like myself, you would be considered a Cancer, right? So, it's more to astrology than just your sun sign. People, when they do use astrology or try to, attempt to use astrology to date or to, I guess, what's the word aside from judging? I don't want to say judge people, but put people in a certain category. They put it based on the sun sign, which can be a big mistake on when you think of it as that's the only thing that can really define the person, right? Because it's so much more. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this disclaimer before I get into this information. It's so much more to a person than the astrology, than the sun sign, the moon sign, the rising sign, all that. You still have to know who a person is, because everybody was raised different. So, different parents, different environments, different traumas, different learned behavior. You understand? Different nurturing. You know what I mean? It might be a part of their energy that was nurtured more so than the part that you would consider or that you would assume that would be in the forefront. It might be, that might be the smallest part of their personality or whatever. And it's more so of this because this is what was nurtured within them, or this is how they decided to wear the energy. You understand? So, environment, parents, taught behavior, learned behavior, things like that. It can, change a person completely, or, have them wear their energy a lot different than what you would expect, due to what you think you have knowledge on when it comes to their sun sign. All right, so sun sign is definitely not the sign you want to try and connect with when you're trying to connect. If you are watching this video looking to connect with somebody using the fundamentals of astrology, the sun sign is not. That's not where you want to go for your answer. Right, for a more in-depth, intimate information. Right, so just to get it out of the way for those who watch my podcast and you don't know what the big three is. When you hear people say, "What's your big three?" or your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, whatever. Okay, so basically, your rising sign is your representative. This is the first part of you that people tend to meet. This is the part of you that you pretty much give off to strangers. This is the sign that you might be mistaken for before a person actually knows your sun sign. All right. This is a part of your personality as well. But it's more so showing up in the beginning before people are really introduced to you. Your moon sign, I mean your sun sign is your personality, right? So this is where people in the mainstream media, when they use astrology, these are like the common things that people are associated with, or signs associated with. These are things that kind of are in the forefront of your personality. Of course, when it comes to the mainstream side of things, you can't take what they say as the whole thing, because it's so many different variables to every sign. You understand? So, but either way, the sun sign kind of showcases, you know, who a person is being, the type of personality, right? Where, and then when we get to the moon sign is more so intimate. This is your thoughts and emotions, emotional needs, right? Your sun sign pretty much lets you know, or lets people know as well, what kind of things you want for yourself, the type of life that you might want. And your rising sign is more so of the style in which you move throughout the world to get what you want. Needless to say, based on that description, you can already tell that the moon sign is a lot more important than the sun sign or the rising sign, right? Sun sign, rising sign is more so what you're covered in, but what's underneath is your moon sign, which makes it, obviously more of an intimate part of yourself. So I suggest, if you're trying to connect to somebody on a deeper level, whether it's a friend, a romantic partner, whatever, I suggest that you look into their moon sign. What can you do to connect more so to them, to their moon sign rather than the sun sign? All right. So, Venus, let's talk about Venus. I would consider Venus to be, your love language. I'll consider that for, the obvious reasons of, this is more so in alignment, or can tell you more so about the ways in which you love, the ways in which you view love, things like that. All right. So this will be my last point for this episode. But this is also useful information if you are using astrology to deepen a connection or a possible connection, right? And this is more so on the romantic side of things. This doesn't really play a part in friendships. This is more so, when you're trying to be more intimate with someone. While Venus represents a person's love language in general, there's a slight difference, or not slight difference, but there's another thing to note when it comes to men and women, right? For men, you can actually get insight if you get into the Venus sign that you have, because for men, Venus represents not only your love language, but the type of attributes that you will find attractive in a woman. Okay. Now for women, it's not Venus. For women, it's actually Mars. Mars would tell a woman more so the type of attributes that she will find more so attractive in a man. Okay, so Mars represents the masculine for the woman, and Venus represents the feminine for the man. So when you're looking at your chart, this will help you kind of read into the type of person that this person might be into, or you might be into. I highly suggest that if you're using astrology, make sure, because astrology is really a tool for self. It's really to get to know yourself a little more, a little deeper, like get to know your psyche a little more, and connect to you in a deeper way. Now, once you've learned how to learn yourself and learn how to navigate your own energies, then you can start using it as a tool to deepen maybe connections with people around you. But don't turn into that person that, keep asking everybody their sign every time you meet them. And if you do, don't take it to heart when you find out their sign. Still get to know people. Don't completely count on the science of astrology for everything. They're still getting to know people. They're still learning new things you never knew about, a sign or whatever. Because some people meet somebody of the same sign that they may have had a relationship with, or old friendship, and they may associate that person's behavior with that person. But there's so many other variables that go into that, so many other factors that go into that, that defines a person, which I got into in the beginning. But aside from that information that I gave in the beginning, you still have different placements within the chart. So, if you met a Capricorn that you didn't like because of whatever, but you meet another Capricorn and you don't know them yet, but you assume it's like that person, but you don't realize they're completely different, not only for, those things I said earlier, but also they may have a different moon sign. You know what I'm saying? Or, this is another thing that, this is why people are so skeptical when it comes to astrology sometimes, because they might be a certain sign and they might meet that sign outside of themselves and be nothing like that sign, and wonder like, okay, if we both Sagittarius, then why I can't relate to over half the shit this person expressed. It's like, well, they don't have the same rising sign as you, and they don't have the same moon sign as you. So this makes for a completely different person. Now, if you sit with that person long enough, you will find a lot of parallels within your personality, but it might be for different things. It might, because again, different environments, different taught behavior, different learned behavior, different traumas, different, you know what I'm saying? So how you use that energy is different than how that person uses the energy, but you will still find yourself being fundamentally different as a whole when it comes to your overall personality, because people have different placements. Okay, so that's all the time I got for y'all today. This has been the Moonchild podcast with the Moonchild, his motherfucking self, Elijah KB. Thank you. What's going on? It's the Moonchild, Elijah KB. As many of you may know, I do offer spiritual advice sessions in the form of a phone call, one being 30 minutes, the other option being an hour. Well, now I'm offering you guys a shadow work package on that very same website. This shadow work package includes a beginner's guide, a prompt, a chakra chart, and affirmations. So if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and hit that link and get started on your shadow work journey today.